Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the part two of Dathmora and the King of Ash. That's what we're gonna call this from now on. Um, so we're back, and I am ready to draw. I first want to show off. I'm not very good at drawing mountains. I'm getting better, but I did some practice and I drew these. So I think these are going to be the mountains of Dathmora, the northern mountains. And I was thinking we can start by making the volcano from which the fire plane broke through into the material plane. Now, I am using material plane and fire plane as names for now. Now, obviously, we could, like, this is the world of Dathmora, but, like, you know, there's different planes. So, like, this is the material plane. This is, like, the original world. But we can always come up with a different name rather than material plane or the fire plane or whatever. Those are just put in place for now. But let's get to some drawing. So I want to get this out of the way. I want to get this volcano out of the way. This up, come on, right there. That's perfect. So I'm using Pinterest as a way of helping me draw this stuff. But to just do a volcano, I mean, that's bad start. Gonna look a little funky for now. It's gonna look like just a normal volcano for right now. So something just like that. But we can go in. Oh, wait, I just realized. Hold on, I need to make a new layer for this. Otherwise it's not gonna work the way I want it to. Oh yeah? Is that what you think? My daughter is in the background telling me what to do and what not to do. She's my manager. She's the boss of this YouTube channel, of both of my YouTube channels actually. So, everybody, watch yourself. Watch yourself. She'll get you. But anyways, so we got that. I'm gonna make another layer, and we're just gonna bring the opacity down just a little bit. I'm not, like I said, I'm not like the best artist or anything, but I am trying my best. Can fully just hide that. So there's our volcano for now. And then we can probably add some more mountains or something in the background. Add one right here. Like that. Yeah, that should work. Bring the size down just a little bit. So this way I can kind of show you what I did with these mountains up here. So I just did a little bit of a better explanation. So what I did for those mountains, I basically did one line kind of going up, and then right at the peak, I'm gonna make another line that's kind of going straight down from it. It doesn't have to go straight down. It could go slightly off to like this side or slightly off this way. I'm gonna do this one straight down, and I'm gonna kind of curve it downwards that way. And then you're just gonna want to take from the peak and just go the other direction. Here we can curve this up, go back down, and then oh, look at that! It's a second mountain. Oh my goodness! And then what you do is you go back and you make your line just a little bit smaller. Just a little bit, and then on each side from this kind of main line here, you're just gonna create some jagged lines kind of sprouting from it like that. And there you go. You got a nice little mountain. I'll just delete that real quick. We don't need that. This mountain isn't supposed to exist here. That was just for example, but down like this. But I like how how these mountains look. So this might be just how I draw mountains from now on. I might switch it up later on in the future and do something different and experiment, because I do like learning new ways how to do things. There you go. And then for here, this mountain, I mean, that's the other thing too. Lines that kind of drag down, just like that. That should, yeah, it's perfect. Look at that. That's awesome. And if I really wanted to, I could add, do like airbrush tool, like this, like a soft gray. We'll do it on a different layer, that way it's not mixed in with everything else, but you're just gonna hear a lot of tapping just for a second. Look at that! Look at that! Oh, that's not gonna lie, that's kind of cool. Well, speaking with that, I might even add just the faintest little orange glow. Oh yeah, look at that. That's great. That's great. That's what I actually really like that. That's surprisingly something stupid that I made is not half bad. In my opinion, you all might think it's dumb, but you know what? I like it. But we'll leave that. So there you go. So that's the mountain. We need to come up with a name for this mountain. Because of course we have the King of Ash, which, by the way, I need to make one layer that is, yeah, we'll use this layer because that's the layer I have the name up there. So I'm just gonna put off to the side here, which actually I'm gonna bump this back up so I can see what I'm writing. That works. Okay, so we have King of Ash. We're gonna have one capital down in the south here. That's gonna be like the sanctuary, where everybody's living, all the people of the material plane, trying to get as far away from the volcanic mountain, the gate to the fire plane. I'm trying to think of like a cool name to call the mountain. Now, a lot of times what I like to do is I'll go to fantasy world name generators, because don't get me wrong, even though I am a forever DM and I am prone to being able to make random names out of thin air, sometimes a little bit of inspiration helps. So just fantasy. I know you guys can't see it, but I'm gonna just look up fantasy name generator real quick and I will be right back. Okay, so I was looking up some names, and I came up with one. Also, I'll tell you what this is about here in just a second. But so the mountain is called Falamere's Gate, and we're gonna say that the King of Ash is Falamere. So this is his gate to the fire plane. So that's what that place is going to be called. So Falamere's Gate. And then I was thinking, Ashen Field could be, oh, hold on, there we go, can be this area here. So right here is going to be where, perhaps, like that's where his army first blew through. That's where most of the main devastation is like in all of this area here. All of this is going to be just completely destroyed, ash, burning wood and trees, just complete charcoal, just no life whatsoever except for fire elementals and whatnot that came from the fire plane. I think that would be really cool to do that here. So we could possibly just start off with that. So it's desolate place. So we'll do just like little tiny foliage, kind of like this, just sporadic, kind of like spread all around. Just like it's just two little lines. Almost looks like slightly like grass, and then we're gonna do a couple trees. Couple trees, kind of just gross looking, dead, smoldering, no life, no leaves, and only like a couple of them, because most of them have probably fallen over or damaged. I mean, heck, we can even do like a tiny little stump or something, and then maybe this one's like all fallen over and whatnot, kind of like that. So fallen, broken tree. This place is just completely dead. It is no life, nada, bad juju, everything over here. If we really wanted to, we could probably do like a little. It doesn't really look like a fire. It looks like a middle finger. Somebody's flipping me off. I'm not good at making fire either. I'm gonna. Looks like fire. Should be good. So this area is currently burning. Just like that. Yeah, that looks great actually. So there we go. So this is the Ashen Field. Oh wait, I put that all on the same thing. Oh, you know what? I suck at doing that, man. It's fine. It's fine. I will just remember that I have to erase these. So, another one down below. Okay. I'm bad at making layers. You know what? I'm bad. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So that's what all this is. Now, I was also thinking of maybe before this. So, like, Falamere's Gate basically burned all of this. Absolutely destroyed everything here. It's like almost completely flat. Like, yeah, there's some hills and stuff like that, but almost completely flat. There is barely any grass, and if there is, it's dead or it's just charred. Trees are charred, turned into charcoal, just nothing's there. And then I was thinking kind of maybe everything out here is, I mean, possibly, I had a cool idea. Maybe that, maybe the fire plane infected these trees with something. I was thinking, what if each tree, I'm gonna draw something. So just, let's say each trunk of the tree almost has like these cracks in them. This isn't gonna look great or anything. Like these cracks in them. And each one has these like crystals or something that are peeking out of them or something like that. And each crystal is like this bright, just orange. And they are just filled with like the fire, like the core of what the fire plane is just fire. So each crystal is just this burning hot rock, and they're almost protruding and growing out from these trees. And maybe each of these crystals can be used for some sort of like, I mean, if you're the DM of this world, maybe these crystals do something magically. So maybe they, if you can break one off without it exploding in your hand, you can throw it and maybe it acts as like a firebolt or a fireball, depending on how you use it. That'd be kind of cool. So this entire field would probably be a very volatile and destructive area. There's probably a lot of patches too, so we're probably gonna do how I would want to draw these trees, not in orange. Let's not do that. But thinking, because we could do the same thing where it's these kind of trees, but now there's just more of them. There's just a lot more of these trees, and these ones now have that like orangey crystal or something in them. And I don't know, I don't have a name for this area, but we'll figure something out. Okay, so now that we have this little forest of trees here, I'm probably going to keep it to just about this big, and then I imagine like maybe what's stopping this this forest infection basically is these rivers here, and then right on, so I'll probably just have like this. So maybe there's a set of mountains that is actually keeping this tree sort of infection, this fire infection at bay. And then of course the rivers as well are what are basically keeping this like tree type disease from spreading to basically the rest of the world. There we go. I need to actually make them look like mountains. There we go. And then as we go, we can try and think of like a name for maybe this infection. And maybe this infection actually goes further than just infecting trees. Maybe it infects animals, monsters, and people. So maybe it turns people and animals and stuff into these like fiery, exploding creatures, or just mutated or something like that. So we could even, I'll write that down here to the side, because that's a really neat idea. So just infected trees can turn animals into monsters. I also just realized that I wrote that on the same layer. It's fine. No, what I plan on doing is I plan on taking all this, erasing it, and writing it onto like an actual like Google Doc or something like that. Because what I do plan on doing is that these worlds and stuff that I create, I will be putting them on a Patreon later on, so that you guys can download them with all of their Google Docs and the images of what, you know, creatures, maps, bosses, NPCs, and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm going to do a lot of like NPCs, but monsters probably, and then of course the big bad, the BBEG, most likely might do something for him, because the rest is all up to, well, you guys. If you guys want to use this for a campaign or something like that, that's up to you to make, NPCs and stuff. I mean, we'll make like names for NPCs, or like, yo, hey, because we're gonna go in depth with each town and city and be like, okay, there's this town with this trader and this restaurant, this tavern, and it's run by this one person. Like, we'll write down like descriptions of them maybe, but I'm not gonna draw them. I'm not a great artist when it comes to like drawing people and characters. I'm okay, but maybe that'll be a later practice thing. Hey, maybe like 3 years down the road on this channel, maybe I will be drawing all these NPCs for you guys. But anyways, so there we go. So we have this mountain range here, that's basically keeping this infection and Falamere's forces at bay, and it's making it easier to protect the rest of the world. But there's these rivers as well. So maybe you could say during this campaign, maybe Falamere, the King of Ash, is trying to put a dam at these rivers, on like maybe here and maybe up here. Mark it off. So here and here, he's gonna put dams here and here to stop the river. That way his forces can then make their way down this way and infect the rest of the world, and whatnot. So maybe that ends up being a thing where your players have to stop Falamere from creating these dams, and keep him from allowing his forces to continue down, destroying everything else. So that could be kind of cool. But I would say since the fire is basically keeping this at bay, at this point we could probably just put some normal trees, and these I usually for this I usually will just do like normal cloud shaped trees. Doing just the normal fluffy leaves. And then we'll just do a few lines underneath. And as we go on, I'll probably change things, redraw things, or I will, in future maps, because this is going to be the only world we'll do. Once we're done with this world, we'll move on to another world and keep going and going until we've got just a whole plethora of different stuff. So there we go. So we got like a forest up here in the northern parts of this area as well. Okay, so now with that, we got a forest up in this region. I like the idea of like the rest of this area being kind of like little hills. So if you've ever watched the Lord of the Rings, which I imagine if you're watching this, you probably have seen the Lord of the Rings, or at least the Hobbit or something like that. So this is like, little tiny hills like the Shire. So we can have little tiny little, grass patterns. Maybe we got like one like tree or something. Something like that. Little tree on that hill. Do another tree. There we go, another tree there. Some more little grass. Grass here and here. Yeah, so up here is going to be like more of this little field area, and then we've also got this, which actually I'm going to change my brush size. Up there. And we're going to put some little dots all around here, because this is the like a beach almost. So that's gonna be a beach there, which actually I might want to. That right there. There we go. It's a little beach right there. That works. So we got a little plains kind of area, with a small beach as well. Down here we could probably have another forest. So again, we'll do. Oop, oop, oop. I hate that my pen does that. Which, before I just go and try and erase all that, there we go. Do it that way instead. Just go all around. Like that. And then actually, before I do the lines, I'm gonna bring that down and then do the lines because I think it looks better when it's thinner. So just going all the way through. Okay, so there we go. So we got those two forests. Let's see. You know, I did think it would be kind of cool if in one of these little areas it ended up being more of a canyon. So I'm gonna look at some stuff and see if I can experiment with that. Okay, so I made kind of a canyon. It looks a little funky, but this is our canyon here, and what we can do is we can maybe say that there is a forest on this edge. You know, there's a forest on this side here. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so there's a forest on that side there, and then maybe on this side it goes from being, you know, this forest to being more of a savanna kind of like field ish. Now I know there's probably a lot of you scientific people that are saying nope, logically, landform wise, that could not possibly happen. But you know what? Whatever. But so my idea is that we're gonna have these little, you know, it's like a little field, little savanna kind of area that sprawls all the way up to here. Keep doing these little tiny grass bushes all over. And then probably at that point, we're probably going to get more to having sand dunes. So I did have another thing. Where's that? Let's see. Sand dunes. Sorry, I'm still using Pinterest. Okay. So kind of same thing with mountains. So we're going to do this, but a little bit shallower. And then we're gonna just go snake like that. Sand dunes are a little bit more difficult than actual mountains, I would say. But all of this down here is gonna be more of just deserts. Go through and add smaller details. These ones, obviously, they're not going to have as many jagged lines because it's sand. It's more smooth. There's not jagged rocks or anything. So just something like this. like that. And if I really wanted to, which I am going to, little dots, little speckles. Just like this. There we go. Cool. So we got a little desert part down here, which I'm going to also continue the savanna area. Come on, brush. There we go. Continue to bring it around. Bring it around town. Just like that. Okay, so I think we kind of finished most of the map here. If we really wanted to, like, I am cool with maybe saying that the rest of the rest of this place here is all fields, plains, and whatnot. Surprisingly, we don't have any swampy bits, but if you really wanted to say, like, we could do it to where, like, this, maybe this northern area up here, these northern trees is more of a swamp, or, you know, even this area down here is more of a swamp, or maybe this one, since it's actually surrounded by 2 rivers, maybe there's another river that crosses through or something, or, well, there's a canyon there, so it wouldn't really make sense. But even this area here, this could be a swamp too, so however you want to remix this into, you know, your worlds, or your campaign, like, do as you please. I feel like I'm drawing little butts everywhere. Little hairy butts. That's how I do my hills, you know? That's how I do my hills in all of my maps. It's little hairy butts. See, and this is also showing that, like, even you, even anybody, like, anybody can draw a map. Anybody. Mine does not look great. And mine looks like a child drew it. So, like, anybody can make maps. And it doesn't have to look good. It doesn't have to look good. If you think mine looks good, like, yay, awesome, great. But you know what? Maybe you'll draw something. Maybe somebody will be like, oh, man, that actually looks amazing. So, like, just try it out. It's awesome. And also, I love map making. Map making is so therapeutic for me. It lets me get my creativity out. Okay, but anyways, most of this map is done. Now I'm thinking we haven't accessorized this area down here. I'm thinking what I want to do with this area is, I'm thinking this area down here is more of a, like, it's like the South Pole. Like, it is just ice. It's one giant ice sheet, and a lot of people are moving down here. Maybe there was a city down here in the beginning, but it has grown since the Falamere's gate has opened. Since the fire plane has been coming in, the what's it called? This now growing city is just getting bigger and bigger, but it can't sustain itself very well. Kind of like the last refuge. Like, don't get me wrong, there's still, going back to the map, there's still plenty of places to, like, live. I mean, you've got all this, you know, like, the only places that Falamere's forces has been is this area here, but a lot of people are like, ooh, this is getting bad, or I want to try and get as far away from this area as possible, so we're just gonna just move down to here. And I mean, maybe it grew this fast in a matter of like a month, and so people are seeing that, oh, these guys are moving fast and they are not stopping, so let's get out of here. And I mean, just because only this area is affected by the flame, or the fire plane, the fire elemental plane, doesn't mean that his forces aren't making their way across the river and damaging more stuff. This is just the extent of the fire plane's like grasp, whereas the forces are still able to cross the river and branch down and do raids and attack cities and towns and villages and stuff like that. So people are very much in the mindset of like, we got to get out of here. And getting colder is getting as cold as possible too. So getting down here to the South Pole is like perfect. So I wanted to draw this more as like ice sheets. So we're gonna take this and we're just gonna making these like very jagged edged. I did forget to make these lines here, but I want it to make it look like it's just all ice. Now I'll probably redo it later because it's not I want these to be more jagged edges, more squared off rather than rounded and smooth. So like I said, I'll probably no, why you do that? So like I'll probably fix it up off camera or something, or maybe I'll do like a small short video of me fixing it up. But for right now, I want to just dots and lines and stuff in here, make it look more rough edged. I'm putting a lot of like small blocks of ice basically that have broken off, these icebergs that have broken off of this landmass. So like all this here, so just doing these just blocks of ice just scattered about. Okay, yeah, so I think that looks good. So it looks like, you know, a bunch of icebergs and whatnot are breaking off, and you could even say that even just the entire planet is just, the entire world is starting to just get hotter and hotter, like a global warming kind of. You know what, I just realized maybe this entire campaign is just you fighting global warming. it's all your players are you know, global warming activists, like earth activists, and they're like trying to save the world from this extreme heat or whatever. No, I'm not gonna do that. We'll keep it. So it's Falamere's gate. So he's expanding down to here. Maybe the entire world is slowly getting hotter. So maybe the South Pole here is starting to melt. Maybe, I mean, hell, you know what? Maybe the water, the ocean levels are starting to rise because all this ice is starting to melt at a rapid rate. I mean, we could even say that maybe instead of it just being a active volcano, like instead of it just being an active volcano, maybe this volcano is like, maybe there's a magic, you know, aura emanating from it. Or maybe the gateway is literally shooting just flames just into the sky. Just like this beam of just fire is just going directly up into the sky, like going up and then just kind of spreading out across the sky, across the world, and it's just heating everything. Almost like a second sun is like being formed in the sky. You know what? That could be really cool. Maybe Falamere is conjuring and creating a fully new sun, but one that's much closer and is like, this is his way of heating up the rest of this planet, basically causing it to warm and warm and warm, getting to that. He's terraforming. He's terraforming this plane to better suit him and all these fire elementals and fire giants and just all these other creatures. This is how he's planning on taking over the rest of this this plane of existence. That's actually that's a brilliant idea. That's a great idea. I think we'll keep with that. So that's Falamere, the King of Ash. That is his goal. So, I mean, I'll even real quick write it down. So, Falamere is creating another sun to terraform to terraform Dathmora. There we go. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, Falamere is trying to terraform Dathmora to better suit his habitability and whatnot. And the last, mortal refuge is down here in this southern pole. So I think for now, we got the map done. I think the map is done as far as like the regions and the like the biomes and stuff like that. I kind of got a bunch of stuff placed. I mean, we have it to where we've got a decent mix. I mean, we've got some desert over here, some savanna that comes down all the way through here. Like I said, you could probably make like this forest here into a swamp or a marsh or something like that. We got plenty of forests. You could even say that maybe this is like an alpine forest, some more of like pine trees and stuff like that rather than like oak or whatever. You've got more of like a plains, like a shire kind of area with a very large beach. We've got this desolate, ash-covered field that's here. The forest that is infected by this infernal, fiery, just virus. And we've got some more like Shire-esque fields and stuff like that down here. We've got a canyon that runs through here. And down here we have this like ice sheet. I'm almost thinking, so I said like a South Pole. I'm almost thinking like just Antarctica. Like there are patches of solid rock and ground and earth, but it is all covered in ice. But maybe since the entire plane is starting to warm up, getting hotter, maybe that ground is starting to be uncovered by the ice. The ice is melting away and showing more of what this land is supposed to look like. We got some mountains up in the north. We got mountains in the center as well. So, and a few rivers and a little lake down here. So we kind of got like a good good variety of different things. Oh, but anyways, I think, like I said, we'll keep it here, and next episode, or next part, we're gonna start thinking about, let's start thinking about some deities, some gods, the pantheon that probably exists in this world. We'll start thinking about stuff like that, and then if we have time, or the part after that, maybe we'll start digging into some different towns and different cities, maybe some factions, different empires or something, or maybe the hero. You know what? We could even say, to kind of keep it a little bit more simple for our first world, maybe the heroes of old, who basically failed to keep Falamere back in the fire plane, maybe they were still able to unite the entire world together. So maybe there are no separate factions, or maybe there is like one other faction, but the rest of the world is still together because of the heroes of old. That could be kind of cool. So there is an alliance that is willing to help fight. It's just now with Falamere literally in this plane of existence, it makes it so much different. He is a lot stronger now. So it's more difficult to set up a force against him. And you could even say, like, maybe there is another faction that is against both. Like, maybe it's an undead group, or maybe it's, like a group of cultists for I don't know. I was gonna say Tiamat, but I'm like, no. We're not using those. We're not using the same stuff. We gotta create our own. But it could be completely something else, or maybe there's an underwater civilization of like merfolk or something that are like, the ocean levels are rising. Maybe we can take on, you know, the rest of the world now and kind of take over. So maybe that's the other faction. Maybe your players have to go try and align themselves with this underwater merfolk, you know, empire and be like, hey, help us defeat Falamere and we'll compensate you, or we'll do something, or we'll give you something, or whatever. That could be a cool thing as well. But we'll get more into that as this series goes. But I do hope you guys enjoyed this. I really did. If you did, leave a like down below. Just hit that subscribe button. It really helps, especially since this channel is just starting out. This is the second video. Any interaction, any likes, any comments, so even just commenting beans, which is on my other channel, go comment beans. It helps a lot. But yeah, go leave a like, subscribe, and if you have any suggestions or any names, if you want to name a city or a town, or maybe there's an NPC that you want in here, like if there's a character that you want in this world, if there's an idea for Falamere, or maybe there's an idea for a monster or a creature that you have always wanted to put into a campaign or something like that, put that in the comments and I will add it to this world. Or, well, I might add it to this world. I want to just say I'm not going to take every idea, but I will take some of your guys' ideas and add them in and whatnot, and I will give credit to my best ability. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. I love all you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.